Mm. Happy full moon in Aquarius. Beautiful souls. First, this is gonna like second of all, I just message now. I'm not gonna be able to keep up with the rate of all this information coming through. But the fast travel message was being like a kid in a candy store. I've been streamlining these messages around being in this liminal space between realms, allowing yourself to grieve what was while also simultaneously celebrating this new chapter or phase of your life and all the experiences that are encoded into your field that are literally beckoning and summoning for you to come and explore them. So it's a bit of a paradox with this full moon energy, and I'll speak about that further. But it's a contradiction and a beautiful one. It may even feel like a beautiful struggle, but your future self is loading through this process. So I want to share with you a little bit about what's going on today. I was going to pre-record this, and I thought, why not hop on live? It was a full moon after all. And yeah, one thing that I didn't mention quite yet when it comes to the transits with my previous full moon readings was that today, and actually right now, at the time I'm recording this, we have a conjunction between Jupiter, which is the planet of good luck and expansion, and the Sun, which is all about identity, purpose, life force energy. It's the soul's essence. It's the universe's unique expression through you. So it's you being an extension of infinite potential and what that looks like as I'm seeing it gathers information in the third dimensional realm. Also, it not scattering its life force, but intentionally directing its life force. And there's something around that life force being amplified within you during this time, where something's emanating from the inside out. And it could be that joyous spark of this beautiful moment of anticipation. That's like the key word that's been coming through. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you, first of all, the download that I was getting for uh, decoding a kid in a candy store. So I was doing that a few minutes before opening up. And it's something that describes someone who can feel overwhelmed with excitement because they're surrounded by many attractive opportunities. If you imagine a child that's walking into a sweet shop for the first time, and I'm seeing this as like the soul on planet Earth, but it's a new lifetime within this lifetime alone. It's one's consciousness becomes aware of itself and begins to behave very, very differently in this construct. So it's not that the opportunities when it's dormant in your field, it's that your awareness that they are existing and there and awaiting for you to align yourself accordingly. I'm hearing align your frequency to become a resonant match. Then you become the key to move freely into that realm of experience. Does that make sense? So your awareness is the very thing that opens the door. It's often making a choice that, okay, this is what I want to experience, and that choice instantaneously captures timelines. So hi everybody, it's so good to see you. I look forward to catching up with you. Let me just streamline and weave this through this construct first. And the other energy that it conveys is everywhere that you're about to look, there's going to be colors and flavors and surprises and things that you've just never experienced before, and it's because you haven't ascended into this version of self. The octave that you're operating under, the oscillation of your organism and the cells that compose of your organism are operating, I'm hearing, in such a high frequency, such a high bandwidth, wavelength, that the vibrational resonance of experiences are designed to meet this version of you and the version of self that you are evolving into and that you've allowed yourself to evolve into. And so even if you don't know what to choose, because everything is going to seem very, very fascinating, it just talks about wonder, things like curiosity, excitement, exploration, and just being captivated by the abundant field of experiences that I'm seeing Mother Earth has in store for you. And what's interesting is a few minutes before I open up this message, I was hearing the Mexico deck, and I was like, okay, we haven't pulled from this for a while. And the message that came through is, do I perceive that everything is connected? So it's something that you're going to be looking back at. And then at the base of that, it says, how do I react when the rhythm of life changes? And there's something around understanding that everything is connected, especially because the Thorn is a major participant in today's experience, and we're going to get into that. I'm really excited to share these messages with you, so thank you for gathering here. Whether you're in the chat right now or you're in the playback, your energy is felt. And so with the 4, you can see this intricate geometric design where everything connects to everything else, and she's trusting that 4, she's allowing herself to actually fall into this new realm of experience. And so it usually talks about someone who's enthusiastically exploring something new. And if we think about the Sun and Jupiter energy, it's like this wise old soul, I want to say, that is learning to become childlike once again while seated inside of the physical dimension. And so if we extend the metaphor beyond just physical objects and into experiences that are literally encoded into a field existing in a quantum wave of possibility, then it's this rich symbolic image that we're being shown where we're constantly moving through a store, okay, this third dimension that's filled with potential experiences. This could be encounters, it could be conversations, it could be synchronicities and opportunities that are designed to kind of shape, but I'm hearing interrupt how we perceive the world. It's designed to shift and alter the frameworks in how you view reality or even your potential while inside of this domain. And it's designed to, I'm seeing render your internal landscape. Okay, so something is, it's re-rendering or re-downloading. And so the candy could be insights, right? It could be just moments of discovery that are being revealed to you, are being shown. And the store is literally this vast sea of possibilities. And the child is the curious part of ourselves, the soul that desires to explore without truly knowing exactly what it's going to find in the store, but it's just open to this realm of experiences. And so, yeah, a kid in a candy store is quite literally, the message was like, okay, no, you think. The main message or takeaway from it was that a kid in a candy store is surrounded by this shelf, okay, something that holds like a certain shelf life, which is what's available and encoded for your soul within this incarnation to experience. And the field is incredibly enriched with experiences readily available for you, and your wonder itself becomes the mechanism through which reality is able to be explored. So much. I have no clue what the draws are with like different. Thank you so much for the 200 draws, sunshine. Appreciated. I'm gonna so get to this message, but today is actually such an auspicious energy to send energy out because it's gonna return to you tenfold. I'm gonna get into this. It's very much the what's it called? The benefactor energy, and I've been doing that all day today where I've just been like tipping very, very generously and just giving things away, and not expecting anything in return, but the way that it amplifies and folds through the field. I'm going to talk about that, but thank you so much. May the energy that you send out written through the cosmos and return back to your experience tenfold, collapsing into your energy through forms of abundance, expected and unexpected. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 250 draws, laughing disco Faye. That's such a beautiful name. May the energy that you sent out return to you tenfold, collapsing into your energy through all forms of abundance. That is super, super. Yeah, it's Australia's buck. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to talk about this full moon energy and what it entails. Oh man, 1313 clarity. Thank you so much, Aladdin's. 1313, I'm going to read it for you. It is clarity that you're receiving after the storm, and that is so symbolic with this full moon. Is not just conjunct Pluto, which is literally that storm essence, is an energy that's been brewing in your field where there's a surrender and a release. But then it also is conjunct Jupiter, which is one of the most auspicious days of the year. The Jupiter and the Sun in this conjunction are basically this fusion of celestial bodies, and it's inside of its domicile, right? The Sun is at home here. And so it operates at its best. I'm hearing at its finest. Okay, clarity. Everyone needs to take in the chat. Thank you so much, Legends. Really, the energy that you send out return to you tenfold, and also your heartfelt words. I see your comments, and it's pretty heartfelt. So thank you so much. 1313 clarity. As the storm passes, the clarity is felt faster than lightning is seen against a dark sky. The divine is reminding you that clarity is readily available. All you have to do is ask. You weather the storm, and now the sky is clear. Loving energy surrounds me, and I trust that the clarity will feel that I need. Okay, so I just got a vision of one here at space with destiny. This is why I love coming into a space of co-creating with you guys, because this wouldn't come through otherwise. I'm seeing a storm go through this hometown, and this chaotic storm rearranges everything. It destroys certain storm. It destroys certain storms. I'm saying by the time this person steps outside of their house and they go to explore their hometown, everything is kind of destroyed except for this one piece, and it's completely new. It wasn't there before. And there's an element of wonder, or there's an element of awe. And I feel like that's what is kind of arising within this experience, because Pluto excavates things. It excavates what was already there, existing in the quantum field, existing in like quantum superposition, and now it's collapsing and materializing into part of your reality. And so today, as I said, it carries that beautiful contradiction. Is this all pitching for you guys? Let me know how the hold on. Let me see. How is it now? Let me know how the audio is doing. Skippy, audio Skippy, I'm purging today. Let me see. So now I got a good mic. It was working earlier. It might just be. Is it better now? Sound is bad. I thought it was just fine. If not, I'm going to start a new live. Much better. I think it was my aircon was kind of loud. It's quite okay. Good. All right. Perfect. Thank you guys so much for letting me know. Okay. So the message that was coming through with the full moon in Aquarius is it illuminates what's being hidden. Nothing can hide for long. And I'm going to do a whole other message on this because I got a huge message for you. And oh, is it going bad again? No. This is my third house, isn't it? Let me see. I connect this. Dun, 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 dun. Is it better now? You guys let me know in the chat so I know to continue. It's when you lean back. Let me put the mic a lot closer to me then, because it's quite far. Yeah, I mean, nothing happens by that isn't a coincidence, which is things that are supposed to coincide. How is that now? Is it better now? Let me just change this up. There you go, Tower Moments. Let me know. Yes, great. Okay. Let me know, is that better? I have the mic pretty close now, but it might actually just be my connection. So, no, good. Is it good? The closer you get, it's better. All right, good. Maybe I change this, the settings. I have a Shure M7 Plus, so it's a good microphone. Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you guys for letting me know. All right. So at the same time, where these things are being excavated by Pluto, you can think about Pluto as a metal detector. You know, when you see the videos of people scanning for treasure or gold on the beach or these fun sites, and it's excavating things to be dug up, that's what's happening right now. The Aquarius moon is bringing things into our awareness that were kind of suppressed or repressed, especially within the psyche. It's likely a gate on noise. Probably, actually, it might be on StreamYard with my audio settings. If I switch that off, I don't know if it's better now with echo cancellation off and the background noise off. Let me know if that changes. It might just be my connection. Thank you so much, Simba, for your super chat. May the energy that you sent out return to you tenfold. Thank you so much for your generosity. You're deeply appreciated. Thankful for you as well. Thank you. You guys are like really Aladdin's Towards Blue Yeti Midnight Edition mic. Thank you so much. I'll look into it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I have the Shure MV7 Plus, and it's never failed me. I think it might just be the connection, but thank you so much, Aladdin's. You're deeply appreciated. I will look into it without the test. All right, that's normal now, sounds wise. Okay, clear now. All right. It might just be the settings that were on StreamYard. Thank you. Okay, thank you guys. All right, so with that little tech recalibration, at the same time, with the sun meeting Jupiter in Leo, it's expanding our life force, right? So I'm hearing it's expanding our field, and it's really important to kind of remain curious during this time and actually confident within our faith to sense these possibilities that are brewing on the horizon for us. And I'm so excited to pull energy on this, but let me just share with you, I've got so many messages that I've been collecting for this. Yeah, there's something deeper that may be leaving your field during this time or leaving your experience. And it doesn't mean that you're forbidden from actually feeling joy just because you may be grieving something. If you guys have seen me do previous readings, I'm pretty sure it was Pluto and Aquarius energy, where I was speaking about a DNR order, right? Like, do not resuscitate. There's certain things that were being called to not resuscitate within our experience. Is the sound patchy still? It's a lot better. I'm getting mixed opinions from everyone. It's a lot better. All right, cool. um, and I spoke about, all right, I'll give you this analogy. It was a funeral, and I said that you have two different kind of people that come to a funeral. One of them is the auntie, and she's super somber, and she's wearing black, and she's very sad. And, you know, she's speaking about how sad it is to see this thing pass on, or this person pass on. And then you have the uncle that shows up to the funeral, and he's wearing this Hawaiian shirt, and you know, he's talking about all the good memories of this person, and he's celebrating the life. And I'm seeing that as something that we're all being called to. I'm seeing advance into when it comes to our perspectives, which is true maturation on a soul level, which is to understand, this was the message that was coming through before, and I was saying it to myself, and I said, oh, it's because how can we actually grieve something that never truly belonged to us? And that's the paradox, right? It's like, how can we ever grieve something that was literally an illusion? And so there's an essence of nothing ever belonged to you anyway. It was all meriting experience and being able to cherish those temporal moments through time as the eternal being. And that's something that we can introduce, right, into higher levels of engaging with life itself, interacting within this let's say this terrestrial plane, and it elevates us into a higher coherence, into higher consciousness, where we can forge these paths for ourselves without being anchored to what was. So that becomes part of a sacred mission, and it also brings us this cosmic kind of comforting energy, doesn't it? I feel like, anyway, that's how I feel it. Hold on, let me just make sure that you guys are all centered. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that I'm purging. Yeah, it's very much a purging energy with Pluto, very much. The museum, it was for me. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Stop the blue dude. Yeah, that museum message was it was super, super interesting. Life is living us, not the other way around. Cultivating courage. Life is living. I mean, yeah, life is yeah, if you think about that, there's just one breath, there's one life, there's one consciousness that's moving through each and every single one of us. There is only one higher intelligence. That's a one to ponder on, isn't it? So yeah, so this conjunction reminds us that joy is also incredibly magnetic. Generosity is something that's incredibly magnetic. Being able to, you know, be authentic is super magnetic, and that's something that Aquarius energy teaches us, or at least reminds us. And honoring who we are, that can, and when we do that, it creates greater opportunities for ourselves, even amidst the chaos, even amidst life's greatest challenges. Gratitude still becomes a choice, joy still becomes a choice. And so when we root in ourselves and we create this internal home, and we reconnect with our inner still sanctuary and the divine within, and our inner, let's say, private world, the invisible work that we do to return to that cosmic breath,
that I'm seeing animates this avatar, then we become our own source of radiance as we move through the world. And that's how you become a central node and you become a central pillar. And the lattice, when it comes to where was that message? Do I see that everything is connected? Becomes evident when it comes to the main theme. I'm hearing overarching theme within these central pillars within your reality. And so when we turn back to our harmonic order and our organic nature, we begin attracting people and opportunities and resources that assist us along our life's journey. And so the concept of surrendering isn't just, this moment in time. True surrender is the ability to reconnect with our innermost needs, to reconnect with the truth of this system, and be able to nourish our vessel in such a way that we co-create with the physical tangible plane. And so that redirection to your inner realms leads to you radiating and emanating this highly conducive frequency. Let's just say I'm seeing your field become incredibly conducive when you're seated within this coherence, because you are a universe and certain things will orbit you. And that's what this energy is. The sun is literally the star, but then Aquarius energy is realizing that you're a star within a greater constellation. So it's understanding and remembering that you have an important part to play within this system. Just seeing what you guys are saying. Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, each dimension is very different. They each have very different experiences, and there is a very challenging, beautiful, intricate paradox that we're all existing within. And so this entire system is just this infinite potential. And when we stay grounded and rooted within the gift of experience itself, and sometimes the gift of hardships that end up forging us into more, I'm seeing back into fluid versions of ourselves where we were previously conditioned or fixed. And sometimes there's very disruptive forces or disruptive events that are designed to literally break us open. And so I'm seeing that kind of happen with you. And Jupiter energy is like the magnet. So it's what is resurrecting from that chaotic mess. Everything is existing in a state of entropy within this universe, which is literally loss of order in a system. Yet there is this sacred ordering. There's a sacred self-organizing system and a hidden wellspring of knowledge, and really an internal knowing that we all have, that there's a secret order all along to your life experiences, not just to bring you back into your point of remembering within this system, but also to realize that everything that's happened on your journey has been part of the divine plan. And so yeah, there is this paradox that we're all surrendering to. So I want to read to you the Sabian symbol for this Jupiter and Sun conjunction that is happening under this Aquarius full moon, to share with you what the vibe is. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Jessica. Oh, thank you guys so much. I'm going to go through after so that I don't get sidetracked. But thank you so much, Jessica McClung, for your jewels and your bow and thankful energy. May the energy that you send out return to you tenfold, collapsing into reality through all forms of abundance. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's really cool. I don't know what the jewels are, but that's really beautiful. I love it. Okay, so the message of this degree for this cosmic event is represented by the constellations in the sky. And it talks to each and every single one of us being individual stars, but we also form ourselves as part of this larger grid or this larger network. And so this is at 6 degrees, which kind of tells us that we have to lighten up because it is a Virgo degree, but we're going to round it up to 7 degrees of Libra. Which is it's a Libra degree, but we're going to read 7 degrees of Aquarius for the Sabian symbols. And so the theme of this degree is the search for meaning, and its image is the constellation in the sky. This symbol speaks to the futility of endlessly searching for the original cause of something, when that search becomes a way of avoiding what must be faced in the present moment. It can also reveal the tendency to avoid personal responsibility by blaming the cosmos, fate, God, or other people or circumstances beyond the self. The constellations symbolize the allure of distant, mysterious, and seemingly more beautiful realms. They represent humanity's desire to look beyond the visible world for answers, purpose, and greater experience. And I'm seeing this wisdom blossoms within you. It's when you look within that you find that the answers already lie dormant. And I'm seeing that as infinite potential and bringing your awareness to those aspects of self and a deeper knowing that you have. And I'm going to talk about that afterwards. Actually helps you illuminate what was always there. So, however, the deeper message is that our greatest fulfillment is not found through escaping into what lies beyond us. It's found through mastering our inner space and understanding the meaning of our own lived experience. It's as unique as a snowflake. Each one of your own life experiences is incredibly self-designed to benefit your soul through whatever your pre-intention incarnations were. The stars may reflect and mirror events, patterns, and possibilities, but they do not necessarily create them. At its highest expression, this degree represents the ability to recognize the significance of the patterns appearing throughout your life and to align yourself intelligently with the opportunities they reveal. It is the capacity to observe synchronicity without surrendering your agency to it. At its shadow expression, it can indicate a refusal to accept responsibility, an attempt to escape reality, or retreat into mystery and the unknown, because the truth of the present moment feels too difficult to confront. The axis here concerns certainty and assurance, and the message is that the answer lies within, which is literally the potent expansion of Jupiter. And this is like the wise sage, right? So he's the one that gathers wisdom through experience. And then you have Pluto energy, which is helping you excavate that wisdom that lies within the depths of your being. That's literally what's happening. And under the full moon, what does the full moon do? If you think about full moons, if you go out in a jungle, you go out in the forest and there's no other, lights, man-made lights, that is the thing that illuminates the entire path. You know what Spirit showed me? In this deck, in this Cosmos Visions deck, the moon card is the bridge to your higher self. And it talks about this mystical being. I'm gonna read it because this reading is taking a whole life of its own, that's what I'll say. It literally is this mysterious figure, and the mysterious figure is your higher self on the other side of the bridge. And you know how I said your higher self is loading? It was literally that type of energy. I'm going to find it, and this is going to make so much sense when I tell you what else I was picking up on with the full energy, which is very much Aquarius archetype. Anyway, it says learn from your mistakes, take pride in your accomplishments, guard against blaming God, the cosmos, fate, or other people for your difficulties and suffering, and do not unconsciously cast yourself in the role of a helpless victim. The stepping stones associated with this degree is sureness, certainty, consistency, security, confirmation, lastingness, acceptance, eternity, beauty, quest, inspiration, significance, predictability, pattern, and astrology. So it's not giving our power away to the stars. It's simply saying, okay, yes, the movement in the cosmos is inseparable to the changes that we see happening on planet Earth. It's not just energies that move around us, but they quite literally move through us. And they're energies that invite us. They summon us to participate within this co-creative field of experience. And so I'm seeing that can be fate, where fate comes in and it intervenes when it feels like we're not working as proactively as we could be towards our soul's journey. And so this is a path that we're all being guided towards. The full moon here is also the water song, which is the garden chime, so I'm going to read that too. But I'm trying to find this full moon card. Here it is. It's known as the bridge in this deck, and so that's going to be symbolic. I don't even know where the other book for it is. I'll find it afterwards and read it for you. But it's like the bridge to your higher self. Let me see if there was anything else there. It's all about choosing your own adventure, essentially, right? With astrology, we can tell you what the energy is that's going on, but it's ultimately up to you, right? Astrology doesn't remove your responsibility, but it does give you a deeper understanding of the patterns so that you can participate within this realm, this energetic realm, more consciously, okay? Okay, so that's actually one of the cards. Sorry, give me a minute, guys. I didn't know I was gonna pull from this book. So let me read the moon. Again, understanding your place within the collective, because even the sun rises in the midst of darkness. Okay, let me see before I share this other message with you. It's knowing that you will wield this extraordinary breath of power, and you're seeing that emanate from your being. It's the breath of the cosmos that moves through you. So the moon in this card is known as the bridge, and this is literally making friends with the unknown. I see this as the bridge of vulnerability, and this is what I was saying. It's like this higher self, this light, this higher intelligence. You're gonna see. I'm gonna do this back to front. I'm gonna read this fast, and I'm gonna tell you the messages that I was getting about retro causality this morning, and actually since yesterday. Okay, so the moon is illusions and intuition. You come across a bridge. A strange breeze tosses specks of light around in the thick air. You notice a figure standing on the other side of the bridge. It looks like you, or what you imagine yourself looking like, right? But this is like your future self. So it's like seeing your highest possible expression. But as you step forward, the space around you ripples like a mirage and distorts your vision. Is this an illusion? Fragments of your past and future memories reflect onto the bridge and then they vanish. The figure that was once on the other side of the bridge is no longer there, and you find yourself standing in their place. The bridge is a card about illusions. If you pull it in a reading, it can be warning you that something around you is not what it seems, or it could be calling you to pay attention to your unconscious self. We all have desires that are not necessarily resting on the surface, but sometimes we are unaware of what we want most in life. The bridge is the only metaphor for this because it shows that reality is constructed by your own illusions and your own distortions. And so what I was seeing was the butterfly effect, okay? And when we speak about accountability, it reminds me of the dark matter reading that I did. So if I find it, I'm gonna I'll put it in the comment section after this video. Timeline tricks very much. Yeah. Okay, so in that reading, I basically spoke about dark matter and knowing that every choice you make, no matter how tiny it seems, creates a branching universe. And so your life is like this garden of forking paths where every time you say yes to something, there's a parallel that branches off where a version of you, okay, and your consciousness that streamlines into these different quantum non-local connections within these other coordinates through space-time, again, infinite paths, is experiencing the reality in which you said no to that thing, okay? Or maybe you said no, and then the version of you splits off into the reality where you said yes to that thing. And so it's understanding that every action has a reaction. It's very much cause and effect in this system. And so I feel like something's being brought into your awareness with this. And so the message with retro causality was I was seeing the full essence, which I showed you before. And the Fool in this deck basically talks about a new beginning. And it actually is so symbolic. I have to find it. My God. All right. The Fool in this deck is, again, you can see her leaning into this infinite quantum realm. But in this other deck, I didn't know I was going to be fusing these messages together, so I didn't prep this beforehand, but let me show you. It's the death, and you guys know it if you've been on the channel already, and it's like this hand that's like beckoning this person to come and safely learn more about what their life experience on Earth could look like. And so it shows that the life for you may already be influencing the choices that lead you towards it, meaning that every intuitive nudge that you feel, every unexpected encounter, or a seemingly insignificant decision, like a tiny decision that you're making, could be an echo that's traveling back through time, right, in a linear fashion. So the future self communicating with you in the present, that is like sending you messages of, right, yes, this is the path of you experiencing you become I, right? You become me. This is where you evolve into this version of self. That's what I'm seeing with the moon, because you see them merge, right? So there's something around retro causality that was showing up in the field, which is very much also quantum healing. So there's a way that you're showing up for yourself now in a way that you weren't able to do previously. And so let me see if I can find the Fool real quick so I can read you this card. And it's one of the cards in this deck that basically speaks about a new lifetime within this lifetime alone. And so with the butterfly effect, most people see a butterfly and they admire its wings. But you know how they say a butterfly can't see its own wings? That's what I was picking up with you. But you can see the wind or the breeze that your wings give. And I was seeing that as like the element or the effect of you, and how meeting you gives that kind of impression of the butterfly effect, where your presence creates consequences within someone's field, or they become, I'm hearing it's evident of the consequences far beyond like the original meeting, and it's because there's something that you said, or there's something that you did, or there's something that you didn't do that leaves someone pondering. I'm seeing years after that initial encounter. So I'm going to talk about the butterfly effect as an octave of the Fool's expression, because that's what I was picking up on with you, but then also these aren't just external archetypes, it's consciousness collapsing into these archetypes that exist as octaves within us. And so I'm seeing it as your relationship to this dimension of yourself, right? Each dimension holds these different archetypal expressions, and the Fool is one of them. I'm hearing especially when you're entering into the land of freedom. So there's something around a new land of freedom. Here we go. So the death in this card, let me see if I can find it. Guys, this feels like organized chaos right now. Like, that's how you could feel your life being. Because I know for some reason I had a hunch that I was going to be picking up on something like this. So I was like, let me put that thing to the side. Maybe I already put it back into the book. Let me see. It talks about a new lifetime within this lifetime alone. But I'll just go ahead and show you the card. If we find it, we find it. I bet we're going to find it in the most, I'm hearing, advantageous way. So here it is. It's like this beckoning, and then you can see this lifeline that you're being given, which is to become buoyant, is to become less dense than the medium you're immersed in. And that happens the moment that you bring this higher level of awareness into this current timeline that you're embodying, but then you're streamlining this parallel or future version of self into your current set of circumstances, and that's setting this new timeline in motion. That's the energy that this is giving me. And so you might not have a very specific clear plan right now, but there is this presence or this knowing that you have that creates this movement. It sparks this movement where you're standing at the edge of your old life, which is literally like the Fool card, and you're suddenly aware that another path exists. It's like your future self is revealing that another path exists. And so the Fool is you, but then the effect right now would be a kind of Wheel of Fortune energy. God, let me see if I can read the Wheel of Fortune in this deck. I'm not gonna go through and pull all of these. I would have done it beforehand, unless you guys want to see me shuffle some cards. Let me read it in this book real quick. And the Fool in the highest octave of the Wheel of Fortune, if you guys know the Rider-Waite deck, it's this wheel, and what he does is place himself in the 0 point so that he can just be seated in the stillness and observe the intricacies and complexities within this self-organized system. Again, like this self-organized chaos, this what did I just call it, organized chaos system, because he's viewing it through the lens of the cosmos. He's viewing it through the lens of source inside of the experience, inside of the medium he's immersed in. And then he noticed that there's certain openings, there's certain meetings, there's certain things coinciding within his experience. And so he recognizes the form when it reveals itself to him, because he's already been feeling the essence. Compared to the Fool in the Rider-Waite's, where he's at the top and he's like, you know, he's on top of the world, and then he has these lows where he's hanging on for dear life. And so it talks about being able to find that constant, right? Being able to stay in that 0 point so that you can be more observant. I'm hearing you can pay more attention to detail without attaching to the how it's going to unfold. So let me find this real quick with the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if I haven't read it so much in this card before. Let me see. All right, it's because it's the life map in this card, where it talks about free will and fate, which is very much on par with the saving symbol, and it also talks about psychic cycles. A life map is the blueprint of your complete history. Everyone has one, and no two are the same. Some are simple and others are much more complex. This life map contains traces of the karmic debt we've acquired, the people we've loved, and the ones we've wronged. Okay, I was just hearing you haven't even yet met all the people that you're gonna love in this experience, or that are gonna love you. You haven't even yet met the people that are going to be portals for you, portals into new timelines, into opportunities, into discovering aspects that lie within the depths of your being. You haven't even met, like, there's that type of energy that's coming through. The life map contains traces of this, and it shows you where you've been and where you're going. With each life map is it's different, and they are balanced in the end. Your inevitable fate and the cycles of you illuminated and understood. So it alerts you that there's a larger cycle of experience and understanding. What's happening now will shape your future. This is exactly what I mean. There are moments in life where you'll be victorious and moments where you will fail. Even that is not failure, because an error is a man's portal of discovery. If things are feeling tough right now, know that you will learn from these lessons and come out stronger from them before. Life is full of ups and downs, right? This is literally Pluto conjunct the full moon, because that is Hades energy. It's the underworld. It's when you go into the underworld, you're not the same person exiting it as you are entering it. While there are some parts of fate that are inevitable, there is still free will, and you have free will of perception to change the way that you relate to your fate, which is saying, okay, these are the cards that I've been dealt. But I'm hearing every good magician knows how to play the good tricks with those cards, right? They know how to alchemize those cards. So this is changing your relationship to what has been. So again, it's very much the cycle that I was speaking about with the uncle and then the auntie, right? The one who's somber and the one that's celebrating death, which is the Fool card, you know, ironically in this deck. And it actually starts off the entire journey in the tarot. So if things are not going the way you had hoped, then make a change. And that change lies within your perception of free will, right? You have free will of perception. And the other message that was coming through is, all right, so there's an interaction that is going to change the course of your events, and we're going to read on this afterwards. And I see this as also like an internal interaction. Thank you so much, Tanya, for your super chat. May the energy that you sent out return to you tenfold. I'm not going to get into that, but working with you guys behind the scenes is so deeply admirable. It's so deeply inspirational. And yeah, there's just so much work that you guys are doing. So continue weaving your magic. Thank you so much, my love. If I missed anyone, I'm going to go through afterwards, but thank you. Thank you so much, my love. Okay, so retrocausality would essentially link the Fool as an octave within you, suggesting that the future version of you is literally already exerting this subtle influence within your present moment in time. It's how your higher self is essentially an octave of you that's seated at a high level of understanding that can see the full landscape of time and space, and it's nudging you to say yes to certain paths where there are certain opportunities encoded into that field of experience. That's what this is. So I'm seeing pay attention to where your awareness is, because where your awareness is I'm hearing where your, like, the law of assumption lies. And there's something around assuming that there is so much beauty to be found in the meeting. There's so much to be found in the meeting. And with that intercommunication with your higher self, it allows you to anchor in levels of awareness that extend and branch far beyond this medium that you're immersed in, and anchor in, again, that's what it is to become buoyant, higher levels of information, an instruction manual that doesn't originate from within this realm. And that's exactly what I was seeing in the astral travel. I'm not going to speak about that today because that's going to be a whole nother rabbit hole. Who knows, maybe I will. So good to see you, indie sounds. May you have a beautiful Aquarius full moon. Yes, you're an Aquarius, aren't you? Aquarius energy. And Misha, what? So good to see you. We have some OGs in here. Happy Aquarius full moon, my love. And Demi, another Aquarius gang. I love to see that all the Aquariuses are rocking and shining. Yeah, I hope you guys are all going through a beautiful identity rebirth during this time. So yeah, what I was seeing was it's having an influence in the person that you're literally becoming, and the Fool is usually understood as something that starts off the journey of the tarot, right? So it's kind of the soul that incarnates into physical form, and then it goes on this journey and it meets all these different archetypes, and by the time it reaches the World card, it removes the characters that have played parts in his story, right? It has to release it. It even has to release the lessons that had played out, or, like, let's say the stories that had played out, and instead it extracts only what's necessary, which is the wisdom from within those experiences, and that's what it takes with it as it embarks and resets on the cycle again. So the Fool is usually understood as the beginning, right? So it's the innocent aspect of yourself. It's the first step into an unknown timeline. And I'm seeing the time has arrived, time has begun once again, where you're arriving in a time that's unknown. And that's the quantum field. That's you being one step away from immersing yourself within a complete new realm of experiences. Happy full moon, Demi. May the energy that you sent out return to you tenfold during this Sun and Jupiter conjunction. And, I trust that reality is going to continue surprising you and redirecting you in the most unexpected ways towards your highest, I'm seeing summit. So the summit that you're really going to be admiring as you look back on that journey. So thank you so much, my love. You're deeply, deeply appreciated. Such beautiful souls. Again, we are all learning self-trust as we move through this next cycle as well. That's another thing. And so this is about you being pretty much pushed forwards, and it's not just what it is that you're walking away from, but it's what it is that you're walking towards, that you're being called to focus on right now. And so your future self is literally the version who's already crossed that threshold. It's already undergone that transformation through the underworld, and it's already entered into that new reality. And so it appears like it's reaching back words through intuition, through synchronicity, through desire, and this unexplainable inner knowing. You can think about it as high dimensional beings communicating with lower dimensional beings, and you're a multi-dimensional being, which means that you're existing in many dimensions beyond the physical. And so it's literally you being immersed back into the more of the subtle hidden architecture of this realm. It's kind of like the interstellar scene, if you guys have watched Interstellar, where they have this tesseract and it's his future self that's speaking and sending messages to him and also his child, like not to go to space, right, not to go on this mission. And so he was trying to push these different books off of the bookshelves, and it was all these moments in time, right? Like coordinates within space time, spaces in time, times in space, different locations that are simultaneously existing, simultaneously playing out. That's what the Akashic field is. It's this interconnected database that stores all memories from the past, present, and future simultaneously playing out. And there's this interactive element where I'm seeing you streamline information into your current timeline and then being able to act upon that knowing. That's what it is to send your consciousness beyond this anatomical physical vessel and gain a glimpse into possible different destinies before they unfold, and then choose to align your actions accordingly to support I'm hearing alignment with that version of reality. That's what it is, right? Relentlessly devoting yourself to that path, right? Relentlessly dedicating yourself to what it is that you desire to experience. And so even though you can't see the complete destination within the physical, you're kind of gaining glimpses into that during this time. Jupiter is giving you that with the sun. The sun is literally information that comes through flashes. It comes through, here we go, Aladdin's with 333. Can you talk about a Scorpio tattoo? Okay, I'll do that in a minute. I dreamt of this in the astral realm, and then I went to my tattoo artist and I couldn't remember exactly what it looked like. He drew up the stencil and then he put it on my arm because I told him I'll go in flow state, draw it up. I'm curious what you're going to come up with. And then I had a fat deja vu in the mirror and I was like, that's exactly what I saw in the astral realm. Yeah. And it's got loads of meanings for me. My Mars is in Scorpio. I've got quite a lot going on there. Yo, 333, by the way, I was gonna pull a message on the potential. In the angel number message, it talks about your highest of potentials is here, which is literally vast portions of your potential that you are now opening up to. But thank you so much, Londons. May the energy that you sent out return to you tenfold. Thank you guys so much. Karen as well. Let me catch up to speed with this so I don't Karen Warren Sky, thanks for your work and your words. Thank you so much for your energy, my love, and for the work that you're doing that is seen and also unseen. It's definitely deeply felt. And so may the energy that you invest into not just your inner world, but also as you roam this earth according to that divine essence, continue to find you and collapse into reality and materialize into all forms of abundance. Thank you so much, my love. Super, super beautiful. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much, Demi, again for 200 draws. Sunshine, you're deeply appreciated, my love. Such a beautiful soul. Once I embodied Scorpio for the second time, it led me to you. True story. Very interesting. The sun energy is very much the sun energy. Okay, so again, this is a deeper octave within you that already recognizes what's playing out. So it's how I did a reading on this in Quantum Breadcrumbs, if anyone can remember. I'm pretty sure it was like within the past few days. I was speaking about quantum breadcrumbs that are being left. I'm hearing behind that you're now finding. So it's like messages that your future self or your higher self has encoded into your experience. Where I'm hearing, you know how you have the law of three and it's like positive synchronicities that come into your field. I'm seeing that happen. And we also have the law of three for like negative synchronicities when, you know, we're not working as proactively or productively as we could be towards what our soul's initial intentions were. So there's something about paying attention to that, especially with 333 that came up. And so the four is literally this being, which is you, that's taking this leap beyond this visible moment and into this deeper calling, this deeper initiation, essentially. And so it's like a cosmic reset that's happening in your experience. And so I'm seeing, you know, that movie where it's like 13 going on 30, and she wakes up at her dream job, like she wakes up in a world that she had once dreamt about, like she's living inside of an answered prayer. It gives me that, where there's something overnight where you should, okay, each and every one of you, how magical would this be? Say to yourself when you go to sleep, and I have to read you this astral message after. I didn't think about this. I was going to do another message on it, but I'll give you the tea. In the astral realm, I was also being shown, universe, show me how good it can get. And genuinely say that when you go to sleep, say that when you wake up, say it as you move through the dream or physical reality. Universe, show me how good things can get. Show me how abundant things can get. Show me how prosperous things can get. It reminds me of this woman. She's on Instagram. I don't know what her name is, but she's like, today, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know abundance is gonna find me. She's like, today when I wake up, I don't know how, I don't know when. There's something like that, where allow the how and the when to reveal itself to you. Just know where you want to go and why you want to experience that. What's the essence that is going to provide you? And can you feel your body and emanate that essence from within, and then see that literally attract towards you, like something that gravitates towards you, because we attract everything in resonance. And so if you're operating as this highly abundant being, which is what you've always been, and then removing any kind of distortions from your field that have obstructed or distorted the way that you see yourself for everything that you already are, which is this divine instrument, then you return back to this fluid formless essence. So I'm seeing something recalibrate, where reality responds in this field, to your field, right? To your inner field. That's the energy that's coming through. Thank you so much, the Robert Baron. Love, 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 love to you. May the energy that you sent out return to you tenfold. I'm not even trusting. I know, I have full faith that you have huge, massive benefactor energy in your field. Okay, so something paradoxically where you're expecting nothing, but something's rippling back around tenfold. And I trust that it's gonna surprise you in many different forms, whether that be through alliances, opportunities, encounters, timelines of experience. Thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, magnetic energy. All right, so another thing that I was seeing was the butterfly effect doesn't just move in one direction. If we're talking about retrocausality, it shows that, okay, present choices don't just have future consequences, but it's also experienced as a future possibility is influencing present activations, or like present moment nudges that you're receiving to act upon that thing. And I'm hearing that action activates that future timeline, because it's literally the action that you're being called and guided to take in the present moment that sends ripples through space-time. Again, you hear me talk about it all the time, where intention isn't enough. Intention is kinetic energy, but when it's supported with action, it creates velocity. And so you literally become this kinetic velocity generator, this luminescent portal, essentially, of experience, where these opportunities flow through you. It gets to a point where it's not even happening to you, not even for you. It's all happening through you as a conduit, streamlining infinite potential through your being and animating it into this experience, right? It's being rendered through you. And so I'm hearing that is a different kind of element of surrender. That's you connecting back to your own organic technology. And so the future timeline literally awakens this impulse within the present moment, and it causes you to start walking towards that path in this effortless flow, because again, you're receiving that tug. And if we think about this energy of the nodes that are also here, right? This is the first full moon, super full moon that we have on the north node, right? This is like where the north node is seated right now in this sign. It is a huge push and pull energy where it's like the future. Aquarius is very futuristic, is like pulling us forth towards something that feels far more expansive, something that feels like it's ahead of its time. And so you may be dancing to music that not everyone can hear. Thank you so much, Demi, for your jewels. Thank you so much, Sparkles Sparkles. May this continue to sparkle and ripple through your experience. You're so deeply appreciated. 10 is a cycle of completion. 2 is all about duality and energy exchanges in this realm. It's about the feminine force. I love that gold coin. It's giving me 10 of Pentacles energy. I love it. I love it. So yeah, the Fool then becomes a part of you that's capable of responding to a future that's not fully materialized yet. You're gaining visual glimpses into what that is. You may be arriving there energetically, like you have this feeling and this desire, and the reason you desire it is because your future self has already experienced it as being a part of its normal. Literally, of being a part of its normal. Like, why wouldn't you? Why couldn't you? It gives me that energy. And any kind of desire is a memory from your future self as well. Any gut feeling or instinct that you have, which is your body speaking to you, is literally a memory of what's encoded within the field for you to experience. And so it's an octave within you that can hear this frequency of your own becoming before your rational mind or your logical linear mind has evidence of that playing out. So this is very much, if we think about faith energy, it's Jupiter. So it's a it's not as seeing as believing, like I'll believe it when I see it. No, it's a, all right, it's believing as seeing. It's pure, not even belief at this point, it's a pure knowing, my friend. It's a pure knowing. That's what this is. What is faith? Faith is to be sure of what it is that you want and certain of the things that you cannot see. Faith is a verb, not a noun. Therefore, it requires action and follow through. Okay. Thank you so much, Mike, for your 500 jewels. I really want to see what these look like in the super chats. What do these look like? Oh, they're beautiful stickers. I haven't even seen this because I'm opening this on StreamYard. Oh, you guys, these are so cute. What? This is awesome. What? Thank you so much, Mike. May the energy that you send out ripple through the cosmos and return to you tenfold. You're deeply, deeply appreciated. You've got stars, you've got all different kinds of shapes there. I love it. Okay, so I look forward to look back through the playback at that. So yeah, the energy of the Fool may appear naive, and it kind of gives me the energy of being naive is kind of existing in quantum superposition in the way where it's a strategy of moving through life. It's a strategy to expect nothing other than constant surprises, like constant energy where you can admire the unfoldment that's happening before you, and you can follow the synchronicities, you can follow the breadcrumbs. And that wheel of fortune is literally this movement that's being orchestrated by a higher power. It's like your destiny unfolding before your eyes. And so that could be a conversation, it could be a decision, it could be an encounter, it could be an act of courage that ends up creating that butterfly wing for you, where you start seeing the atmosphere shift or render within your experience. And through retro causality, it can feel as though the transformed life is literally waiting ahead, but it was also the force that emerged abruptly within you that initiated that fast divine inspired act, right? That's what this is. And so yeah, there's something that's going on. If we think about butterfly effects externally, it could be something that shifts your whole life's direction, and it's something that starts quietly reorganizing itself in the field. So it's definitely giving me the dream weavers kind of energy. And then it reaches a moment where the human condition lifts and all you can see is magic within your experience. It gets to that point, and I feel like that's the shifting to the counterpart earth, and I've seen that. I've had the privilege and honor of connecting with so many of you beautiful souls, especially on here and behind the scenes, and it's just magic everywhere. It really is. So I also see this, the more that you are anchoring this essence and this knowing and this level of coherence and basically sustaining this level of awareness and coming back to this level of awareness, there's something about redirecting your focus back towards what is constantly every time that your attention is, you know, pulled towards this psychological operation. And then, okay, yeah, it's an illusion. All right, yeah, we're immersed inside of the dream of physical reality, constantly waking yourself back up because it's one of the easiest realms to fall asleep in. Then you'll start noticing things in your field, but then also people start noticing things about you because you're in this world, but you're not of this world, right? You're in this world, but you're experiencing a completely different dimensional layer of this reality. And dimensions are information, right? Each dimension holds information. It's self-organized. Dimensions are literally frequencies. And so, and those frequencies are emotions. So for example, we can both be in one container in one field where, let's say, we're going hiking, and I've used this explanation before when I was in Peru. We're going hiking, or we're going, let's say, free climbing. Like, I live for that. And so someone may be really scared and someone else may be having the time of their life, right? Someone's experiencing that through fear. So that's the dimensional layer of reality. That's the frequency. That's the emotion that is they're hosting at that given moment in time within their avatar. And so the lens in which they're interpreting that experience is a completely subjective compared to the one that is in joy, right? The one that is in wonder of what am I going to find? There might be a cave on this mountain that I'm climbing, like, you know. So there's that type of essence. They're accessing a completely different dimensional layer of this reality, and that's what this third dimensional, multi-dimensional realm is. It's a container that hosts many different frequencies, many different octaves of consciousness, and you can interact with each other. And so there's a deeper understanding today, especially with this energy of, there may be some of us that are going through really hard times. Some of us are experiencing a lot of, you know, hardships. As the condition lifts, you know, it does act as a catalyst. It catalyzes us into this profound transformation to actually confront the butterfly effect, which is, okay, there's no more time to action the inaction, but there's also time where I can begin to steer my life in a different direction now. And so there could be something about you being that motivating, inspiring force for those around you, and just being that sun element, right? It expands whatever it touches with Jupiter here as well. It kind of elevates the perspective of how someone's relating to their life experiences, even if that is a smile to a stranger, even if that is, you know, tipping someone generously, even if that is just it's energy exchanges. And so how are you exchanging your energy with this physical realm? Because the sun has an exothermic reaction. It literally transfers light and heat to its surroundings. So it transfers joy, it transfers this element. And so the higher your frequency, the higher the quality of exchanges you'll see within this realm. And that is the butterfly effect that you leave people with the Fool card, because it's a breath of fresh air when you run into this octave, when you embody this archetype. Again, it's a consciousness collapsed into a form. So this is the form that you can shift into as a multi-dimensional being. This is what tarot really is. If you want to talk about esoterics, you have different archetypes, right? If you guys want, I can do a whole teaching on this. I've done tarot for since I was a teenager, so it's been like well over a decade, and my relationship with it has completely transformed the more that I've just gone on this inward journey. For example, the Empress, right? This is also an octave that we can collapse into form. And what does that look like? She has a level of poise. She has a level of self-respect. She has a nurturing presence about her. And she is all four queens combined. And so you have all these different archetypes that they meet. And so even the Fool bumps into the Empress and then realizes, oh, this is a dormant aspect within myself that I can now awaken into and shapeshift into, and then move through earth according to that divine essence. And that's your ability as a multidimensional being. And look, I split the deck and find the Temperance. Behind that, we have the Devil. These are what the major arcanas are. And so you have, again, oh, I met this being, now I know, right? I also have this unconscious aspect within me. This is where I'm being called to make choices that maybe I wouldn't have made before. I'm balancing out the realm of the known and the unknown with the sun and the moon. Anyway, there's like a chain of synchronicities, right, through these encounters that we have that unlock dormant aspects within ourselves. So this is you being a multidimensional being. You exist in many dimensions simultaneously. So that's the energy. And you know, sometimes you remain in people's life for a long time. Sometimes it's only for a chapter, right? You know that saying, some people with us for seasons, others are for a reason, others for a lifetime. That's the energy of the butterfly effect. But one thing's for sure, like you leave people unchanged. They're not unchanged after your encounters, right? So the importance is not necessarily measured by how long a connection lasts. I especially want to talk about this because this full moon is also conjunct Juno, which I spoke about in another reading, which is literally the realm of marriage, sacred contracts. It's deep commitments or devotions or bonds and our values and what really is in alignment with our values. And so we're understanding what these let's say energy exchanges or connections are built upon, and if that aligns with the version of self that we actually are now, or that we're evolving into, and not the previous version of ourself. So usually it is measured by how much movement occurs either within us, right, kind of interrupting our own comfort zone, or how much movement our presence can create within someone else's life. And that is an unspoken force, I'm hearing. Like, you're an unspoken force. I'm going to use that as a keyword for a minute. Hold on to that in the field, guys. If I forget about this, remind me in a minute. Oh my god, thank you so much, Leonella. I haven't even looked in the chat. I've just gone sideways. Hold on. Thank you so much, Leonella, Grand Rising, Star Family. This is another beautiful Aquarius in the chat. Such an OG, has been here since I was doing Aquarius readings and individual sign readings. I have so much love for you, gal. I love seeing that color. Keep being your beautiful galactic self, your multidimensional organism of consciousness, and may the energy that you send out return to you tenfold. You're deeply, deeply appreciated, my love. Thank you so much, Minotaur, for your jewels and your silver star. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you all. I'm gonna look back through after and make sure that I don't miss anyone, but I appreciate you guys deeply. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about as well is if something feels strangely familiar in your field, almost like your body, right? Like, I almost want to say your nervous system recognizes something before your linear mind does, or your conscious mind understands it, or there's this deep maybe excitement or this heightened awareness, or time seems to be slowing down, especially with sun that's shut off. I still haven't done that pre-record, but I guess we spoke about that on the live. Time is behaving non-linearly during this time, and so different parallels. Okay, this is the vision that's coming through. Shifts that are happening in distant parallels are now bleeding into each other. And so even where we had said no to something and it's led us, not off course, but it's led us in a different, let's say, spider web within the coordinates. That's how I want to call it. It kind of reminds me of the Cosmos Visions deck. I want to see if I can show you what that looks like real quick. It's like the Parallel Universes card. If it's led us within a different coordinate, let's see, I want to show you because I want you to visualize it here. Let's say if we said no to this thing, and if we said no and it led us maybe here. If we said yes, it would have gone here. I'm seeing, even though we had said no, at this point, there is this strong gravitational pull that we have. And if we get ourselves to just here, I'm seeing it access within the field, some kind of connection that may exist here. And now your signal is strong enough for it to find you. I'm just seeing that kind of energy where time is behaving non-linearly. Like, things that shouldn't be are, but they should be, is that type of energy where it doesn't make sense to the logical linear mind. And so there's a sense that something is happening and you're only going to be able to comprehend it much later. So the butterfly effect, literally, as a person, is not always a person that you're meant to keep in your life, but it's the person that causes you to become the version of yourself that's capable of entering the life that you were always meant to live. And I'm seeing it as sometimes when we end up in these timelines where it's almost like we're at a dead end, we're wanting to experience something that's way over here. There's something that we're going to draw into resonance within our experience that's designed to literally not, you know, uh, pull us, okay, to pull us, it's not being pulled away from us, but it's pulling us inwards so that we will be the one to forge this path. Okay. And I'm not even saying, seeing it as forging, but more acts as a path that already exists. So that's what I'm seeing also happen abruptly. And the energy that I got was like meeting someone and then being a domino effect. And I feel like I used this years ago where it's like the first kind of push and then it has this whole cascading element where it creates like this sequence of events that unfolds in your life. It's like a domino line that you didn't even know existed. But it's a much more intricate domino line. Has anyone seen those videos of the dominoes and then it has its own kind of, what do you call it? Like captures things that were being captured or things that mesh into other things, and it's a much more intricate design. That's what I was seeing. It's a moment that first appears very small, but years later you look back and then you realize that, all right, that moment changed everything, right? Maybe that person that we met changed everything, or that experience altered our perception. And so someone who possesses that gift of being a butterfly effect changes lives without forcing that change. It's not like you're here to even change or impart anything on anyone. It's just by living by, I'm hearing this story of embracing your own multidimensionality where you naturally end up becoming a catalyst. And that could be through a conversation, it could be an idea, it could be an epiphany. It ends up rippling out in a way that you may never even fully witness, right? That's what this gives me. It kind of reminds me of a high priestess reading that I did um, ages ago, and I spoke about how people don't really always, they can't always see the things that you're telling them to see, right? They can only look at it. When you see, you're looking at a circumstance through the lens of the soul, through the realm of energy. They can't always listen to you. They may just hear you, or maybe it goes in one ear and out the other. But years later, your words echo. As we evolve into deeper levels of consciousness, we can finally interpret things that we weren't able to interpret before. And so, yeah, every interaction with you becomes a seed in that moment. I feel like you're planting a lot of seeds in this system, and it could create a completely new future for you. It could be creating a completely new future for those around you. But there's a moment, no moment is truly insignificant, is what I want to say. Every single moment holds significance, even the most mundane encounters. They have the potential to alter timelines drastically. So that's the value of cause and effect. It's understanding that the small decisions that you make today create ripples through tomorrow, right? So I'm going to do some reading on this. The time is 111 right there in the energy. So that's literally the destiny card. It was also the card on the foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and read that. And then I'm going to look through the chat. Can anyone remind me, what did I say to remind me of? 111 destiny. Follow what you feel. Listen as your intuition helps to guide you to what it is that you're manifesting. The inner whispers are helping you to create all it is that you desire. Listen, lean in, and follow your soul. Life is always happening for me. I'm allowing myself to lean into what feels good. So that's your advice for this. And it's so funny because we have 999, which is release at the base, which is endings are new beginnings. So again, it's what is literally calling you right now, not what it is that you may feel like you're walking away from, because you're actually just making room. Energy is not created nor destroyed, it only is transformed. So it's in the release where the magic happens. Yeah, I think there's a big storm outside now brewing. Doors open for me where others have closed, bringing transformation to my mind, my body, and my soul. Sometimes I'm seeing the universe sends you back to yourself. And there's something about each time you've been sent back to yourself and discovered something that was always there. Okay. Let me know also in the chat if you want me to read that astral travel message. It was all about you being glitched inside of the system, but I think I'm going to do it on a pre-record because there was a lot of scenes there. But the whole gist of it was divine intervention arriving at an exact moment when it was needed. And, recognizing yourself as a divine being, so much so in everyone in this system and everything in this system, to the point where even temporal disappointment is just a true form of protection being redirection, you know, constantly in our field. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anyone. Sparkles, thank you so much. Thank you so much, James King. May the energy that you sent out return to you tenfold. You're deeply, deeply appreciated. Yeah, you guys are literally the best. I have no words. What was that thing that I said? Can anyone remind me that I said to hold it in the field? If not, it doesn't matter. All right. The other thing was there is a hidden exit that was prepared for those who were not meant to be like consumed by the old chapter. And one of the big messages that were coming through, I'm gonna pull a message for this, was you already got there, but you're just understanding the how within the quantum structure. Like everything's already happened, and yet you're creating it to actually see it, to see that unfoldment. And so when we shift our vibrational belief system or our perception while we're inside of the field of experience, wow, it's really raining outside, like a heavy, heavy, heavy rain. Your free will, I'm seeing, can interrupt all timelines of perception where you become liberated inside of the experience. That's like one of the big things. And I saw the heart space, if we talk about Neo, as a specific chamber of vibration through your compassion. When you tune into your compassion, you can tune into dimensions of information that, for example, resentment cannot really access. And so through your compassion, you shift your frequency and your momentum in the now, that will then allow you to bilocate yourself to a parallel universe. It's that type of energy. And so you know, you're able to perceive planet Earth essentially forge a new beginning for yourself. And so yeah, that's what I was seeing. It's it converts the energy into like this special chamber, and you become a very potent force of creation. And you have the key to open up those portals, those stargates, which is literally, a stargate is a time matrix. So it's where you're inside of the matrix, but you're seeing it from the lens of the eternal being, which is knowing that nothing is ever personal, it's all just vibrational. That's what this is. And when the human begins to cultivate self-trust in such a way, then you merge with an entire different universe of experiences. And that's unlocking the incredible potential of the human, and that's understanding spirit navigating the physical form. Can't wait to be superhumans. Amen, Leonella. We already all are. Well said. Enjoy the beautiful rain over here in California, being so dry like SpongeBob. I love that. Heavy rain seems much better than heavy sun. I mean, it's been really hot all day, so it's definitely, it's deeply welcomed into this space for sure. But yeah, I see that as opening up an invisible current that flies you away into another realm. And the invisible current is something that not everyone can see, but they can feel, right? To not become hardened by your circumstances, but being able to see them through the lens of the cosmic self. And this is so important when we talk about death, because our vibrational state at the time of a death or an ending in our life, right? Our relationship, our resonance to it, which is the way that we're thinking about it, the way that we're feeling about it, the belief that we hold about the experience itself. When we can shift that belief into a higher way or a higher framework of relating to that experience through the perspective of the soul, through intercommunication with source, with plasma, it elevates our frequency so much so that that's not going to repeat itself, because we're closing out a cycle. We're saying thank you for the lesson, I understand, I'm integrating the experience, I'm now ready to open myself up to something new. I don't have to repeat that cycle again. Whereas when we leave off from that imprint, energy transforms itself into maybe another archetype. You're still going to be playing out that role. And so that's the difference when it comes to karma and when it comes to free will, right, in this system. So yeah, it's just a, you know, you can identify things, and then you get to a point within this fractal holographic construct where There could be someone that comes in or tries to cross a boundary, but you now have the opportunity to do something there now that you weren't able to do inside of that experience. And so that's a level of self-respect that we build, and it's confidence that we build in how we hold our energy and how we exchange our energy in this realm. So it's an embodiment. You get the opportunity, you're being sent an invitation by other versions of yourself to anchor in this healed archetype, which is the integration of those lessons. One thing is to have those lessons and gather up that wisdom, but if that wisdom is not embodied and integrated in the way that you move through the system, then it's like you're just in the realm of energy, but there's no anchoring it into the physical, right? So you can alchemize great rage into compassion as well for yourself, right? Self-compassion, understanding what it is that you need most in that moment. So yeah, those are like patterns of behavior that we're able to observe, not just within ourselves, but within this system as a whole. So yeah, when we are mature enough, we can redirect the expectations that we have of the external realm and learn how to return to harmony within our organism despite what's going on within our surroundings. And that's ultimate truth of this construct. So yeah, when we direct our attention back to our eternal essence. All right. I keep seeing the screen glitching, showing cracks into another reality right now. Super beautiful. I love to hear that. We can have who's worthy of us only when we know our worth. Preach, Demi, preach. I love that. And we're constantly being handed these invitations as well, right? From the external realm around us. So that's like another energy that's coming through. Yeah. Anything else? Does anyone know what I said in the field? Let me know if you're in the live chat. Where are you tuning in from, and what's the time where you are right now? What's the coordinates within space time? Yeah. And the beautiful thing is we can identify also how we've been participating within a lot of these dynamics, and we're able to meet our own needs and become the source of our own needs. So sometimes we feel like we need someone else to understand us, or we need someone else to hold compassion for us, or acceptance or understanding, when really they're showing us how to become our own source as we move through this experience, which is, oh, I can actually fill my body with deep understanding, right? People can only understand you as far as they've met themselves. How can someone be compassionate towards you when they have lack of compassion towards themselves? You know, sometimes we understand and then we actually extend compassion to those individuals because it's those that need it the most, because you understand that, oh, how can someone provide you something that they cannot even anchor into their own being? So there's there's an internal self that we're connected with. We don't fall into those parasitic exchanges or timelines where our internal state of being is dependent upon what someone does or what they don't do. Instead, we are completely anchored, poised. That's what 0 point perspective is. And I've done teaching on this as well, so I'll probably link that in the comment section afterwards as well. 624 in Cali, was that? Man, that quote was deep. Appreciate to TT. Checking from Metro, Detroit, Michigan. USA is 9:24 a.m. Wow. Deeply appreciated. Thank you so much. And thank you for doing what it is that you do. From Cambodia, 8:24 p.m. Texas, 8:24 a.m. Sweden is 3:24. Timeless. I love that. Montana, 7:24. UK is 12:24. France, Paris is 3:24. Cali, Canada, beautiful. Wow, so many of you are all over the globe, aren't you? No wonder I'm feeling that lattice over the grid, because I was seeing it as like a cosmic, it's a cosmic overlay essentially over the earth. And so when each of us are standing in our, coherence, we become nodal forces or pillars on this planet. And then when we tune into communication hubs like such, and we hold this coherence together, it's like a bioelectrical living membrane that just begins breathing. I don't know if anyone else feels that. But yeah, a lot of these experiences are gifts, they're designed for us to find our essence. And it's an essence that life provides you that's uniquely designed for you and you alone. That's what this is. Like, you'll have certain gifts come online through these shadow experiences, one can say, where again it kind of sends you back to yourself, and it's only with more change down space time that we recognize the value that an experience had for us within our soul's journey. And so there's a paradox, right, where we mature enough into seeing this perspective. So yeah, that's what this is. And a lot of that can even be like abandonment, right? Where have we abandoned our intuition in certain situations? I was just about to say power nodes. Yeah, Mike, very much so. Gaia is smiling. Indeed, Tanya, I love that. The earth is smiling, and you know, you're an extension of the earth. And so when you smile, Gaia smiles. um, you can just feel it now. You can feel your heart beats and sync as one. As you breathe, she breathes through you. As you breathe life into her. There's a constant exchange. Your lungs and hearts become one. This awareness binds our hearts as one. And it's when we tune into that potent force, you know, we return to all that has been, all that will, and all that was. Did I just see a familiar face in here? Let me scroll up real quick. Let me see. We are helping her birthing. Yeah, in many ways, you know, as we are all going through, as we clear up density within our being, we ascend into a high octave, but also Gaia ascends into a high octave. She is also an organism of consciousness on her own journey of evolution. And so she had accepted soul contracts of contrast so that many of our souls could incarnate on this planet where she would host us within this container of experiences to experience, you know, the laws of duality for rapid soul expansion, essentially. And so even soul contract or agreements lie within the countries, within the lands. We are all born through resonance inside of these fields. So it's a beautifully intelligently self-organized system. Trying to scroll up, I feel like I've just missed. Comments are going so fast. Gaia smiling back at Gaia, like earth ley lines. Exactly, Mike. And I speak about ley lines quite a bit. The breathing was a vision download I got last year. Layered breathing grid. So good to see you, Carl. I'm so sure we'll catch up soon. Yeah, it's very much that energy. It very much is. Fertilizer for the mother. Yes. Staying positive and grounded, keeping frequencies high. I love to see that, you know. It's thank you for each and every one of you, you know, whether you're making yourself seen or you're just holding space inside of this system, not just for yourself, but also other divine beings. Even those of us who are still lost and sleeping in matter, there's always harmonious cosmic order that's being sustained within this contrast. Otherwise, the third dimension would cease to exist. And so, yeah, there's something beautiful about that. I got no words with it. I've got no words. Just thank you for doing what it is that you do, because it's felt, it's seen. It's a beautiful experience that we've created here, isn't it? Sometimes I sit back and I'm like, what a beautiful universe. What a beautiful cosmic construct that we've created. I'm going to go ahead and pull a cosmic oracle message for this full moon in Aquarius. Because, you know, Jupiter Sun Cazimi is like one of the most. Last year we were kind of I don't want to say got the short end of the stick when I was in Cancer, because we had a bunch of other, I think it was like other squares that were going on, but it wasn't as like auspicious. This year it's known as like one of the luckiest days of the year, like one of the luckiest transits, especially because of where it is. Yeah, it's also coming with this potent kind of unavoidable transformation. A lot of it is fated because it's you know, it's kind of activating where the nodes are right now, where there's a release that's required for this new beginning. But again, it's not a trade-off, it's something that you're trading in. It's pure magic. Las Vegas 6:30. I used to think you lived in Egypt. I did live in Egypt, yeah. I was there for probably about a year. We have the cosmic network. I live everywhere now, and I'm in another area of the planet Earth. The cosmic network is literally all about the morphic field. So it's the instruction manual of how the non-physical manifests into form, but it's also, it's a field of resonance as well. You can think about it as, I talk about the cosmic field. You have expansion at the base, which is literally Jupiter energy. And I talk about it as a morphic resonance. And so this space, for example, is a nucleus of a family. We've all been drawn in through resonance. And so we're a collective group of individual sovereign beings that have come together. And so even these groups that are guided together through resonance within the morphic field, they begin to share, they begin to cultivate a shared intuition where we start picking up on the same messages within this field. We also begin to cultivate abilities like telepathy, because I'm hearing we're very close in parallels. Okay, we share life within many parallels together, many lifetimes together, and so I'm seeing we find each other again and again and again and again. Consciousness finding itself in new faces, new forms, new disguises. That's what this is. And so it's a fact that we've shared many lifetimes together, first of all. And it also talks about this hidden wellspring of knowledge that we pull information from. See, the morphic field, to put it quite shortly, I usually use this example. So when you get an iPhone, you have a device. That's your carbon-based life form. It's the alpha third-dimensional vessel. It's like your avatar. It's the ascendant. Essentially, it's like the non-physical 12th house manifests into the physical first house. Is the identity that the soul or the timeless consciousness is seated within as a divine instrument in order to navigate this terrestrial plane. Okay. Then you have iCloud. And so in iCloud, when we get a new device, a new avatar, we can streamline the information that exists within the field. It exists within the quantum realm. And so although there's certain pictures that were taken on old iPhones, there were certain experiences that we had in old devices and old avatars, there is an evolutionary history encoded within us where we remember what the evolutionary history was when it comes to energy exchanges on Earth and also the cycles that the Earth move through. We remember things that the mind hasn't lived in this lifetime, but the field remembers. And consciousness gets to a point where we're not just a localized point within the field, but we are the very field that holds this localized vessel. Just deep that. You're not just this avatar localized inside of this field. You are the very field of experience holding you right now. And so in this remembrance with the cosmic network, there's information that you tune into, right? And expansion is like seeing things that basically you can't unsee. And so you could feel like on this Aquarius full moon, there's the veils are very thin, let's say that. And it's not that the veils are thin or that, they get finer. It's actually that you get more refined, okay, in the way that you see yourself and the way that you relate to yourself. I'm seeing as you ascend into a higher order, you can tune into new fields of experience, new dimensions, new frequencies. Flight. Continuous movement is the opposite of standing still. And I'm seeing it break something open with ultraviolet here at the base. Ultraviolet is higher bandwidths of frequency light. So there's some kind of energy. This is the symbol for energy that breaks you open. It literally reminds me of this card in my starseed message. I'll see if I can find it. And it's basically the image of, when there's like a human and then I'm hearing there's a break within space-time. So there was some kind of experience that left a mark in your historical timeline that I'm hearing interrupted either your worldview. It was like a force. We split it on our score. So it was like part of your journey, part of your lesson. I'm going to pull from these since I have it here. The opposite of standing still, it's continuous movement, and it talks about your flight to success. So there's some type of information that you are remembering. That's almost what I want to say. And let me see if I can find this card real quick because it's in my mind's eye. This is how we do like tarot nowadays. It's like Spirit shows me a card and I have to go and find it. It might be in the other one. Here it is. Cracked open. Rock bottom. Surrendering to the alchemy of life. This is what it is. There's some kind of experience that was designed to send you back to yourself. That's what I see here. And rock bottom provides you with essentially, base raw ingredients where you can hit rock bottom yet still return to a flourishing life. And you can bounce back by transmuting that pain into growth. And so once the human becomes aware of their ability to regain that level of awareness and to embody free will, which is free will of perception of, okay, yeah, this happened, but what am I going to choose to do with that? I'll tell you what, the body has a certain level of being able to self-sustain itself and return back to harmony, to actually divert its energy from what's happening in the external and return back to its own cosmic origin point and perspective. And from there, you are free. So, I always say I love a little bit of material. I like, give me a reason to be angry, give me a reason to feel rage, because I don't know about you guys, but moments in my life where what felt like it was going to deter me off my path, I utilize as fuel to further accelerate along it. And so those moments were my biggest catalyst for either starting a business or, signing up for that course or that study or making that move. It's like they're designed to break us open so that we can return back to ourselves and we come out stronger on the other side of it. And so I love a little bit of base ingredients material. That's how you turn a leaden experience into a golden opportunity. That's what you can do as a natural filtration system. You are the oyster. What does the oyster do? It takes the parasite, right? Something that was going to be parasitic and was designed to kind of drain it in many ways, or let's say reawaken it to its power that it always had within. And the parasite enters into the oyster coats this parasite and it says, okay, yeah, maybe this has entered into my field of experience, but I'm going to create something from this. And so it ends up creating this valuable pearl. I'm hearing that's cultured. And so the invitation for those who, master life force in such a way is to choose if you want to exist in this pure suffering from an experience of, oh my God, the parasite entered into my experience, or you want to enter into this pure state of bliss of, oh, what was life like without this thing? No, now that entered, I get to create something. Like, this is what this dimension offers us. It's like, oh no, these are ingredients for me to create something beautiful from this. And so you also have a choice to exist in both states of consciousness, and we can also phase in and out, which is why I said today is often like that paradox. It is a little bit contradictory because we have Pluto, which is literally about death, but then we also have Jupiter, which is like this lucky expansive force, and then Juno is helping us see the value of these experiences. And I'm hearing the value is changing over time, because the interesting thing is, we're constantly choosing between our great destructive potential and then also our great potential as pure creators in this experience. And the energy, let me see if I can remember it. You can exist in both states simultaneously. Hold space for two truths to be true at once, even if that's within you. Especially today within your own life experiences. Don't fixate onto one perspective of one way of feeling about it, because you are designed to shift. Just be aware of when you're shifting and how long you're entertaining each perspective. This is what it's giving me. Like, what are you expressing through your emotional body? What are you allowing to create an environment inside of your body? Is the belief system way that you're thinking about it supporting you and sustaining you, or is it bringing your organism into a greater sense of like destruction, right? So that's what this is. Thank you for the affirmation. I'm so glad to hear synchronicities. You know how they say like our next level is through the parts of ourselves that we try to avoid? It's very much like that. Like, your next level is through those parts. Thank you, Stop the Blue Dude, for your Jules. You're deeply appreciated. May the energy that you send back on this cosmic gift, right, this day that is such a gift, which is the present, eternal now, continue to ripple through the quantum field and find you and surprise you in the most unexpected ways. Thank you so much. Let it flow with Denise. You're deeply appreciated, my love. May the energy that you sent out ripple through the cosmos and return to you on a luminescent wave of abundance, materializing into reality through all forms of abundance. Thank you so much, my love. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Okay, I'm going to pull some energy from this as well. We have our school. You have two. So, Imrana, where are you being called? First of all, where are you being called to journey to? We have 144 in the chat right now, which is a really auspicious angel number. Did I say I was gonna look up some kind of keyword? Can anyone remind me if I did? You're already doing it. Stop overthinking it. Keep facing your true north. So that's exactly where the true north is, and that reminds me of the Polaris reading. So that's your first message, and then you have get grounded at the base. Empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature, and I'm hearing connect with the true nature of this construct. We also see I'm hearing you're opening yourself up to new realms of information. You also have fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life, with karmic relationships at the base. So soul growth, very Juno energy, Orion energy, and conflict. So again, themes of polarity, themes of contrast, holding space for the paradox in this realm. I'm gonna go ahead and pull some messages, and then I'll probably head out soon. I just wanted to share some of these this time with you on the full moon. So experiencing life as it comes, drifter. This is about you being called towards an essence and allowing the form to reveal itself to you. Now, the reason being is because there's a calling within your own heart, the subterranean depths of your own heart, that is calling you towards a new spring oasis. Time to replenish is saying that there's nothing left for you in a situation. It's like the well has run dry, essentially. And there's more of an abundant, fertile field of experiences that, you know, where animals naturally migrate, they know how to migrate, they know how to follow that internal compass. When I was speaking about the Polaris energy, there's something around that. I'm seeing a new field. Okay, experiences encoded into your field. Remembering ourselves back together. 100%. Okay. Yes, I love that. Stop the blue dude. The flight card represents the rapid expansion of your network, while the ultraviolet card acts as the hidden essential filter that reveals the truth within them. Yeah, really beautiful interpretation. Okay, so what lights you up? Experiencing life as it comes, seeking the essence but not knowing the form. Very much like the Fool's Journey. The Drifter invites you to step outside of your to-do list and your ordinary routine and to feel the breeze against your skin, calling you to follow the wind and explore life's opportunities. That's very much the energy from today, right? It's very much that energy. Okay, when the drifter appears, it's like bittersweet, right? It's a sign that it's time to cut the mooring lines holding you to the dock. It's not important to know the destination before you set sail. It will become clear as you leave the port. Do not wait for a map, as there's none where you're destined to go. But be sure that you do have a compass to keep you true. Yours is pure love and your intention to be set free, even your own beliefs and preconceptions. It reminds you of the message I did around the compass was invented before the clock, and that's because direction mattered more than the time that it took for you to get there. And Polaris energy is that internal compass. It's literally the soul's odyssey across lifetimes, and how there are many things happening in other, you know, let's say parallel universes, distant quantum non-local connections that are bleeding into your earthly timelines. All these themes are interwoven into this system, intricately designed and sewn into the fabric of space-time. And so as you pull forward your generational lineage on Earth, as you ascend into a higher order and shift the frameworks of how you're viewing your exchanges on this planet and how you exchange energy within this realm, within this dimension, and you trust yourself in how you exchange your life force within this system. You also simultaneously pull forward your starseed lineages, because everything is happening simultaneously. And so many of us render into this experience on Earth because it gives us the potential of being able to work within many dimensions at once. We're operating on one of the densest planes. And so as we clear up debris within this field, it has a ripple effect. That's what I'm seeing. Like literally your body is made up of frequencies. From the highest frequency being farthest away from the body, this is like your auric field, into the most densest frequency of your bones, the structures of your cells, and what we call this physical organism. And we're constantly oscillating from these different vibrational frequencies. That's part of your multidimensional organic material. It's part of your vessel. And so, like, once we transmute these blockages or things that belief systems have obstructed or distorted us from connecting with our etheric origins, in how we solely have identified ourselves as just the physical, when we are actually the key to move freely between realms, and remember that we originate and branch far beyond the system while being immersed inside of it, then we elevate our space and we feel elevated within it. That's how you become buoyant, to become less dense in the medium you're immersed in, because you're not having third dimensional thoughts while inside of the third dimension. And you know, that sustains a frequency of harmony within your vessel. But it requires for you to reconnect with the self, to observe yourself without judgment, right? To forgive the versions of yourself that knew the best that they did the best that they had with the realms of information that were available to them at that stage of their evolution. You have to forgive that version of yourself for the things that only time would teach you. And so that creates this emergence of new understanding for you to process those emotions. You know, these are like portals of connection. They're ways that we connect with ourselves. Yeah, that gives me like quantum non-locality. That's what it is, which is like, it refers to basically quantum states. I'm not even gonna get into that. But yeah, it's like holographic portals that just know that you extend far beyond the system. You project your reality into this energetic field, and so everything is existing within the morphic field before it even translates into the physical. Things that you're seeing within your physical experience and the patterns that you have been experiencing throughout most of your lifetime were designed for consciousness to become aware of itself inside of the system, for you to understand the apparent themes. And I'm seeing the library of information, the history, the evolutionary history of how the lineage has experienced life within this dimension. And so with pattern recognition, we have the ability to understand what those themes are, not from reading them in a textbook, but studying them within our own bloodline, studying them within our own realms of experience. What have energy exchanges look like for you? And once you become conscious, you begin to behave very, very differently. So, yeah, know that you're seeing much more than beyond the physical eye. If you appreciate the energy of the drifter, I'm seeing this as drifting in your inner realms. Here you might not seem to be doing anything worthwhile or meeting someone else's expectations, but you are the only one who understands that others are running full out on a hamster wheel and getting nowhere. Your laziness is an underappreciated virtue. Again, being seated inside of the stillness of your own heart. Someone can say that they love you with their lips, but their heart can be so distant. And it's because they haven't yet been seated inside of the stillness of their own heart. They're yet to return to that perspective, to see life on earth through the lens of the heart space, which is to recognize your interconnectedness to all things and the universe being one single being. We all emanate from this same light. We all emerge and spring forth from this same light of information, and we will all return back to that light once again. We're all children learning to return to that wisdom once again, as Thor said in the Emerald Tablets. So, you know, each child has a part to play in the cycles. Each child has a part to play in the cosmos. That was coming up in the astral. I'm going to do another message on that because that's like a whole other thing. Yeah, that's what it is. So it also says, you know, that life will find you and bring you everything you require without you having to search for it, by being instead of frantic doing. Again, being seated inside of the stillness of your own heart, feeling the full range of human emotion while simultaneously existing within the void. We are not our thoughts, but the awareness behind it. We are not even the emotions that we're currently embodying within our vessel and hosting within our vessel, that can flow through us freely like the weather if we want them to. They stay as long as we invite them. That's part of your multidimensionality. Do you know that? But you're also the awareness behind the experiencer, the one experiencing it. The experiencer creates many identities and distortions and personalities and, you know, like roles that it attaches to. But you are the one observing that. And then there is a field also observing the one that's observing that. So there are many layers to this observer. And, you know, that's something that we can only, you know, through like years of meditation, like anyone that meditates knows exactly what I'm saying. So even as you let your mind wander, releasing it to go on a daily walkabout, call it back home regularly. It's altered states of consciousness. The drifter helps you find what you were looking for, even when you didn't think you were seeking anything. Let me see. I'm gonna also get. Let me see what you can embody more of from the magic of the gathering, simply because it's a magical gathering, and then I'll get a gateway of the light activation. And I just wanted to connect with you guys. Really, I just wanted to come on here, you know, full moon on my third as it starts rising. Okay, so you have the distraction and then the hero's journey with the unconscious at the base. I'm gonna go ahead and read it real quick and pick them up because they fell on the floor. Pick me up again. Hello. Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. Woke me up, get a coffee on me. Thank you for repeatedly finding me when I seem to need it the most. Oh, thank you so much, my love. Thank you for being here. I'm so I'm so honored. I'll definitely think about you and I'm getting that tomorrow. I deeply, deeply appreciate you. May the energy that you send out return to you tenfold, collapsing into reality through all forms of abundance. May that bless you with 100 coffees on me. Thank you so much. You guys are so beautiful. All the world is a stage. Yes, it is. Let me see. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna go through all these starred super chats afterwards. Let me just read you this. This is very interesting with the hero's journey and distraction. They're saying that you are the only one that can get in your own way. It reminds me of something that I was listening to earlier, and I posted it on my Instagram story. And it's like this audio of this guy, and he was saying something around, you know, you're the only one that's going to get in your own way. It's your own mindset. If you relentlessly devote yourself to this goal and you put your head down, then why wouldn't you win? Like, there's no reason why you wouldn't win. And so with the unconscious, it's understanding that there is an internal, again, different archetypal system that exists within you. Okay, let me read the distraction first. So the distraction, I see it, is the soul incarnating into a carbon-based life form, which epigenetically, so there's the evolutionary history and memory that your body holds of not trusting the self, of self-sabotaging, and that also providing a sense of, you know, reward for the comfort of staying within our in these realm of experiences that we're very familiar with, right? We don't have the privilege of staying in those realms when consciousness awakes to such degrees, because it can no longer return back to its old form. It's like once you take the red pill, trying to take the blue pill, again, it's not going to be the same. You enter back into the system and you've seen too much, right, to return back to how things once were. So distraction is basically this fluid formless being incarnating into this vessel, and the vessel holds within it many belief systems within the field that it's adopted or has been programmed through societal engineering. And again, this weaves down generational lineages, and so this has a certain level of limiting systems, let's call them. Belief systems are systems that limit our ability to create as infinite beings within this realm. And so it's not that it actually defines who we are, but it does distort and obstruct the way that we see ourselves. Because what we truly are when we remove that distortion is highly abundant beings that have access to every single realm encoded in this field, readily available for us. And so we coexist with this octave of self, yet we also remember this celestial, fluid, infinite plane that we all originate from and we emerge from. And so that's part of the hero's journey. So distractions talk about many other distractions as you go on your journey. Your goals may change, but understanding what you value and what lights you up is paramount. Every hero needs a North Star so they can find their way back to the path. The Polaris reading seems to really be activated during this time, so I definitely watch that. I'll try and leave that in the description box down below as well, or the comment section after this video and the playback. It also says if you're scattered, see if you're surrounded by people who are taking you away from your true goals. So if you're lost in the pursuit of frivolous things, if so, stop, breathe, and simplify. Get back to your truth and back on track. So sirens have magical voices that can charm even the most prepared heroes. And then that came out with the hero's journey. So that's literally this journey that you are forging yourself into. That's where you begin rearranging your life around your why. You begin rearranging your life around the soul's intention, around your mission. So these are experiences that strip us of our surface identity, and expose our true self. I was reading Transformation, but that could be what you need to hear. It says, use these experiences to feel the power of surrender. Let go of all of that in which is false to be reborn. Knowing yourself is the hero's journey. Your intention is your ship. Truth is your sword, and awareness is your torch. Your armor will be stripped away as you slay the dragon. Then you return to your greatest treasure and the wisdom of sages. There is no escaping the hero's journey, and refusing the call is futile. Let go of resistance, face your fears, and find your truth. So this reminds me of something that I was seeing the other day, and it was all about identity. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it right now. But if not, I'll probably do a reading on it. But basically, the identity is just an accumulation of thoughts, right? All belief systems are just thoughts that we continuously keep reinforcing again and again and again. And that's created certain distortions that have obstructed the way that we see ourselves or relate to our life experiences. And that's what I'm kind of seeing there when it comes to the belief systems and being able to transform. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But to become fluid once again, like if you want to be another version of self, you have the ability to think as that version of self would, to feel as that version of self would. Again, you're already there. Yeah, the effect of your life is a direct reflection of your habits and the incremental actions you take on a day-to-day basis. For some people, that's going to feel like a compliment, and for others, it's going to be a hard reflection. But to know yourself is to create yourself, and to know yourself and to find yourself is to realize that there is no self. The personality is not real, and it's nothing but an accumulation of beliefs. You don't find yourself, you create yourself. And there's something about giving yourself permission to just dismantle the self, because again, with like the nodes in Aquarius, the North Node there and the full moon there, that is the illusion. What was it, the message at the beginning of the card with the sun? They merged with their higher self. the higher self was their future self. It was the version of self that they evolved into. And so there's like a message of just be that version, like live as that version, embody and anchor that version into your current timelines, despite outer temporary conditions, right? In spite of that, how can you inhabit that version of self? That's what the higher self is. That's what gamma perception is. It's saying, how would my highest expression respond to the situation that I'm currently in? That's where you move out of unconscious repetitive patterns, and you actually create as the higher self inside of the situation. You're saying, okay, how can I create this experience or recreate this experience? You have victory and financial constraints reversed, so restoring your flow of abundance. This is saying to be open to victory on every level right now, even if that is internal. Sometimes that internal, it says there's also, of course, external victories too, but no matter how small that is, it's about accomplishing even the smallest milestones within yourself. You also have a change in the wind, so of course you do. Let me go ahead and read this for you, and then that's going to be it, guys. What time is that? Yeah. 12. So it sense that an unseen change has been initiated. Preparation for a storm. So interesting because it's literally storming right now. Awareness that your plans are not on firm ground. Feeling a shift, uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. It's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change. The soul is never in a rush, but the human, again, it loves certainty. Okay, so I want to know all the details. That's what the nodal axis is that we've just graduated from with that cycle of the South Node and Virgo has been teaching us, like being able to release that inner critic and the need to know all the details and trust that non-linear, I'm hearing receptive force that we originate from while inside of the realm of time, okay, the laws of time. So yet nothing in human experience is black or white, nor will ever remain static. The one thing guaranteed is change. Now is a time of transformation as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air, scatter seeds, and nourish the soil for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. I swear this is just wrapping up everything that we said, opening up. This feels like a full circle moment. So it's like you are the four that just made it to the world. And you're about to literally start the cycle again. And that's literally what it is. Anticipate. That was a key word that was coming through. Anticipation for what is encoded in the field. Curiosity and wonder were keywords as well. So in relationships, it says, relationships go through periods where partners seem to be out of sync with each other. Perhaps someone has a change of heart and leaves. These rough seas offer opportunities for mutual growth, a way for you to understand your own heart and to know where you need to be truly happy. Rest assured that whatever is happening now, good will come from it. Take temporary shelter and remove yourself from the drama. The air will clear and everything will be fresh and new again. This too shall pass. Okay, prosperity messages. As you endeavor to create a prosperous life, you may encounter unexpected reversals that cause you to shift directions. This is a good thing, so there is nothing to fear. Perhaps an opportunity you sought went to someone else. Perhaps you've pursued something that you suddenly realize is not in your highest good. You might not be 100% clear on where you need to go, but you are certain that things are not going as planned. Circumstances are not in your control right now, but wait it out, all will be well, even better actually. Just trust. So yeah, there are conditions brewing in your life. That's what the protection message is, that you have no control over, but don't fight it. I'm hearing every time you fight with nature, you lose. Every time you as a little organism with this entire universal construct, like resist that change. That's what happens when, that's how actually like, you know, a great illness is caused, like cancer is created. It's when a cell basically loses electrical communication with the source, and so the cell goes rogue and it goes on its own destructive path because it steers away from the collective like timelines and a whole journey of evolution. It feels like it basically it falls out of alignment with its role that it's playing in the larger system. Okay, and you're never really alone, even if it feels like you're alone. And so the being that falls into decoherence, yes, you can go on this destructive path. Again, you can accumulate, let's say, an experience or realm that will create this foundation that you'll later be able to understand your own destructive potential again, and what that looks like to create, I'm hearing, chaos in this realm. But it's also very valuable. It's always in benefit for the soul's evolution. And another thing I was going to say was, just because we learn something through suffering, or we learn it through more of a harmonic lens, or like it's an experience is low vibrational or high vibrational, doesn't equate to the value that we consider extract from the experience. Because regardless of how the oyster perceives the parasite entering into its realm and its natural ability to create this pearl from this, catalytic event, essentially, it still discovers its power. And there's that type of essence. And once it discovers its power, the next energy that enters, right? The next energy that enters, it already knows what to do. And so there's that element of, spiritual stamina, spiritual mastery, and mastering the realm of energy. That was another energy that was coming through. And so we can still extract wisdom from experiences, despite if they were learned through suffering, or we can choose to see them through the lens of harmony. So anyway, don't fight them. Change is inevitable and for the best, for the higher good. Organisms or cells that restore electrical communication with the source and come into greater coherence fall back into alignment with their purpose and this larger system that you're participating in. So even if the storm blows away, the structures that you think you've built your dreams on, all will turn out as it should. For you have renewed clarity and strength to do something even better. Spirit is your ally. That's what this is. Thank you so much, Anthony Lootbox. I love that. Oh, hold on, let me go down so I can put your party hat. You guys are being lit with these jewels. What's going on? Wait, I've lost I lost the plot. Thank you so much, Let It Flow with Janice again for your silver stars, for your gold coins. You guys are deeply, deeply appreciated. A clapping seal. Hold on. I need to look at these. Let me see what they look like real quick. Oh, loot box is like a treasure chest. No way. Thank you so much, Anthony. That's clarification. I'm going to read to you my notes that I have for the treasure chest. I got this download a couple weeks ago and I haven't shared it yet. That's clarification. Thank you so much, Anthony. May the energy that you send out return to you tenfold, collapsing into reality through all forms of abundance. So the chest is the vessel that holds the treasure. And I said that you are a treasure chest because you've developed the capacity to hold something valuable without needing to possess it. And so that could be a person, it could be an experience that happened, and also not allowing it to possess you, but instead understanding the value. And so the treasure may represent abundance, wisdom, creative energy, opportunities, spiritual gifts that are moving through your life. But the chest doesn't confuse what it carries with what it is. Right? It understands that it's not its experiences, it's the awareness and the observer behind them. And so it protects the treasure, right? It protects the wisdom that it's been able to extract. It gives it somewhere to exist and allows it to be revealed at the right time. In the same way, you're becoming a vessel for more without attaching your identity to what passes through you, right? You're becoming a vessel to hold more experience without allowing your experiences through space-time to actually define you, but instead it refines you as a conduit. So as a container for experiences, that's what this is. I'm seeing as your field is a container for experiences. So the analogy that I had for this was like a mannequin. I was being shown a mannequin that has different clothes where it offers these different styles of expression without becoming permanently identified with any of them. So your form literally changes, but the structure holding the form remains steady, it remains anchored. And this is the eternal self. There's a part of you that's untouched by time, unaffected by the events that have occurred along your space-time travels, and that's your true self. And so you may move through different roles, you may even evolve into different versions of yourself or realities or expressions, while still remembering that none of them truly define you. So you're the vessel, you are the treasure and the clothing, and you're being trusted to hold and embody and express time through your being. It's like you are a vessel for time, space time, to move through you and experience itself through you. If you get it, you get it. That's what this gives me. So thank you for bringing that up out of the archives, Anthony. This is what I mean. You guys are just beautiful. Like, these things can't happen without your participation. So it's always beautiful co-creations. How do I scroll up from this thing? I'm trying to... Thank you, guys. I can't even see. Let me see. Oh, here we go. 3 draws. Thank you so much, Earth Angel, Raven, Ray. Thank you so much, my love. May the energy that you sent out return to you tenfold. Thank you guys so much. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anyone or miss anyone. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, my love. Cynicism with a husky. Beautiful. May the energy that you sent out return to you tenfold. Thank you so much. Yeah, you guys are something else. I want to see what these gifts are. Party hats, gold coins. I hope I don't miss anyone. Clapping seal with a dowel. Let it flow. Silver star. Oh, I've got so much love for you guys. I'm going to pull one more card from the Gateway of the Light activation, because that's the one that I said I was going to touch on. And see what needs to be unveiled here. I have a husky. I used to have a husky. Oh, of course you do. Third eye. So third eye is clear seeing. Have you got the Seraphim's code? Brow chakra, inner vision. Seraphim's gateway here at the base. Divine support, angelic attunement. There you go. Voice activation. So this is also the cover of the book. This is your multi-sensory perception system. So it allows you to tune into what's happening in dimensions beyond what it is that your physical avatar can perceive. So your physical avatar can only see what 1% of the light spectrum. Your eye of the soul sees this realm for what it truly is, which is the realm of energy. And so this talks about trusting your clear seeing abilities, trusting a preview of life's upcoming, so you're also receiving glimpses into possible future destinies before they unfold in the physical. And so there's a level of precognition, which is, all right, if I say yes to this thing, what would be the most likely sequence of events to unfold? Feeling into those timelines, reading those timelines. A lot of you are doing timeline reading, and then you're anchoring back what it is you're interpreting or picking up on the field, not from distortion, but again, clear, ultimate observation without attachment, and saying, okay, what's the true nature of the dynamic? What's the true nature of the situation of this? What is driving me to those timelines? What is the driving force? Is it something external, or is it something internal within my being? Is it a desire of the soul? Is it a desire of the ego? Is there an unmet need or a wound that's seeking resolution in those places? Or is it me truly creating inside of this experience from the crown, from the soul? That's what this is. And then you're anchoring back that information into the present moment and aligning your actions accordingly. That's what this is, because not choosing is also a choice. And I see you doing that a lot of timeline reading right now. Okay, this is how we actually anchor that into our experience. Thank you so much, Stop the Blue Dude, for your silver star. You guys are so sweet. I love these little jewels, whatever they are, these little stickers. They're beautiful. I'm trying to see where they go. They're so cute. Okay, so let me read this for you, Third Eye Activation, see if there's anything else here. Oh, what was that card? Or that page? Third eye. Okay, so visualization, it also talks about this transports us to a gateway representing our spiritual connections, seeing with the inner eye as our divine right, and our soul self has never forgotten how to do it. Okay, we use this special talent even if we don't realize it. For example, when we imagine something before it happens. All right, what this is giving me is oh, this was a message that was coming through. Hold on. I'm going to read it for you. This is exactly what you need to hear. Something that I saw the other day, and it was about everyone wants to be psychic. It's gonna speak about it completely. I'm not even gonna try to. Right. Everyone wants psychic gifts, but very few people want psychic responsibility. Because real psychic development isn't just about collecting messages, it's about refining perception. It's learning the difference between fear and foresight, projection and prophecy, hypervigilance and intuition, your own voice and everyone else's. The most psychic people I've ever met weren't the loudest. They weren't constantly talking about downloads. They weren't trying to convince anyone that they had gifts. They had become incredibly clear. Clear enough to know when something wasn't theirs. Clear enough to trust the quiet whisper over the dramatic sign. So this is like a quiet awareness with third eye. You don't need to announce this. Trees do not announce their growth. Silence is its own transmission. Clear enough to stop abandoning what they knew because someone else disagreed. That's psychic development. That's exactly what it is, right? To not focus on what someone's saying, but sometimes what they're not saying. Not what they're doing, but sometimes the things that they're not doing. It's that energy of, okay, you can read patterns. This is like seeing life through the lens of the oracle, seeing life through the lens of the high priestess. So not that psychic development, not escaping reality, but perceiving it without distortion. Every tradition worth studying understood this. Before someone learned to see beyond the physical, they first had to learn to see themselves, without fantasy and without inflation and without fear. The greatest psychic ability isn't seeing the future, it's in seeing truth. And there's something that you understand within you. Children are born sensing truth. Before they have a language, they have perception. They know who feels safe, who feels angry, right? Even animals pick up on this. Who isn't saying what they mean. When someone is saying something, but then there's an internal war within them, an incongruency. When they learn to doubt themselves, then they learn to doubt themselves. You're too sensitive, you're imagining things that didn't happen. Little by little, they stop trusting what they know. One of my memories that comes to mind is like one of the first times that I was remote viewing. I used to remote view all the time as a child as well. But I remember one time I had shared it with my elder sister, and I told her that I was remote viewing like one of my family members, and she was like, "Oh yeah, what is he doing?" And I was literally seeing it and I was explaining it. And so there is that ability that we all naturally have, but then we were taught to kind of ignore these gifts that we possess. And when I talk about gifts, these are just it's unlocking the full human potential. You know, these are things that come with the package of being a human, because you are an energy being and all you're doing is reading energy or reading fields. So with timeline reading, this is your ability to tune into the field of creation in which you've emerged from, the field of creation in which you also are. You are also the field that is hosting you and your vessel. And so, yeah, it talks about that didn't just happen straight away. It happened little by little, where these gifts become atrophied and you're creating safety in the body in such a way that the soul feels safe enough to explore again. And you merge your human nature with your divine nature without doubting that. And so discernment is the forgotten psychic gift. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every feeling belongs to you. Not every fear is a warning. And the quieter your nervous system becomes, which is why nervous system regulation is the forgotten language, the more obvious that truth feels, because it's truth. So the mystics weren't extraordinary because they predicted the future. They were extraordinary because they could see reality without distortion. which isn't about escaping this world, but it's about seeing through the illusion of the system clearly, which is when you see the system clearly, it's a holographic construct that you're existing in. That's what it truly is. I'm not holding this card right now. The negative electrons orbiting the atoms of this card are just repelling. Its electromagnetic repulsion are repelling the negative electrons orbiting the atoms of my hand. And so there's an illusion of physicality. It's an illusion of physical thing. Like that's why science, like logical masculine energy, is inseparable from the realm of energy, spiritual and the feminine. That's what the feminine masculine is. It's merging the human logical mind with the creative feminine non-physical essence of yourself. So that's what it is, right? Yeah, so this is a gateway that encourages you to unlock your psychic abilities and stop questioning your divine ability to see. Know that great potential and healing will be unleashed when this space is activated. If you have an intuition about something, trust what you're seeing. This is a sacred time for that psychic potential that you've had since childhood is awakening from slumber. You've always been a dreamer, sometimes thinking about how the future will show up or revisiting the past. Now the gifts that have been discouraged in the past are reawakening, and your inner vision is stronger than you can imagine. This gateway is here as a confirmation that what you are seeing and experiencing is in divine alignment and that you're being supported as you develop this source given gift. And then Thoth is the last card in this deck as well. And, you know, it talks about a great set of light initiations that you are embarking on right now. So it gives me that energy. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's understanding what it is that we're picking up on, right? Not just within our inner realms, but also the realms of those around us too. And there's like a safe return to the self as well, where sometimes we step back from situations and we walk back into our own life, we walk back into the connection with our own divinity, and within that sometimes we realize how much we miss ourselves, you know, to recalibrate back in our own field and just feel the universe pulsing within our being. And you know, it's like the ego says see me with the South Node in Leo, and the soul just says see, just see. And that one word difference is an entire universe of intimacy to peel back all that I is and just reveal and strip back the core essence of all things. And we'll notice the one light just wearing many masks. And so that's the interconnectedness. Yeah. It's very much the energy. Yep. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this session. I thoroughly enjoyed coming on here. Our most intimate connections in this realm are created from curiosity rather than jumping into assumptions or allowing our own ego to. And that includes timelines. Like our most intimate timelines when it comes to intimacy with our own soul's essence and being able to cultivate a profound sense of self-trust in how we navigate this construct is created by following our curiosity as we follow back around to the fall. And when the ego jumps to conclusions or assumes certain things without allowing them to ever, you know, I see it as like abandon yourself or reject yourself before you even step foot on the path. Allow for exploration and lean into exploration. Because it feels like so many of you in that liminal space. And again, as you walk the path continues to unfold. That's what this is. So, yeah. That's what this is, guys. All right, I'm gonna love and leave you probably right there. I appreciate you. I see you, Demi, with that quantum entanglement theme. I appreciate you guys. We volunteered to do this, y'all. I love that. You were never alone. No. Haven't caught a live in days. I did enjoy it. Thank you. So glad for you to be here. Love the owls. Let's go. Us go. You guys' comments are so beautiful. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Frederick. Have a beautiful day. Thank you so much, the Spiral Gate, for your superstar, silver star. You're deeply appreciated. I love your name, the Spiral Gate. That's beautiful. May the energy that you sent out return to you tenfold. Hi, Lioness. Leonella said, hi, Lioness. I think I missed you in the chat. I hope that you're a good girl. Lioness Delight. There's another OG. There we go. Hi, everyone. Hello, Queen. I hope that you're having a wonderful full moon in Aquarius. It's so good to see you. Yeah. Hopefully the audio was okay. I know some of you having mixed messages when it comes to it. So I'll check that on the playback. Unlocking another superpower. I love that. I'm just reading your guys' comments. Says Demi. I love that. 11111 is great. I've been seeing it starting. Yeah, that's a feel it, like think it, follow that path. Anyone that I missed? Found you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right, well, that's gonna be it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this a magical gathering. It definitely felt like it. I'm really glad that I came on. And if you're watching this on the playback, comment down below the full moon emoji or something that you feel is symbolic of Aquarius, or what it is that you're tuning into, or where it is that you are on the globe. Anything, let me know. What should we do? What should we look in? Maybe the rainbow emoji or the third eye emoji. Let us know that you made it to this point. Video and quality was fine for me. Okay, I'm glad to hear about that. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, family. I'm gonna love and leave you guys right there. If you're already subscribed to the channel and this message found you in the field somehow, someplace, it wasn't by chance. So welcome, welcome. Do consider subscribing. Personal reading details are also down below. Also, check out Water Spirit, guys, if you're looking for some high quality 88 grade gemstones as well. Today I'm wearing my own special signature blend. So this one is labradorite, so you can see those beautiful hue holographic domes. That's for my Sag rising. Then I also have this is Sky Jade Blue, this one. So that's for like Gemini energy, and then this one is for Cancerian energy as well with Aquamarine, I think. I don't remember what order it was anymore, but those are like my big three, so that's like my big blend. But yeah, that's gonna be it, my love and good vibes. So glad you guys could join it. I could be on here for hours, but I'm not gonna be. I got go into the astral realm. So yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you. Keep weaving your magic through this grid because it's definitely deeply felt, and keep showing up for yourselves, because as you do so, you also, you know, you show up for the collective. Thank you so much, Earth Angel, for your 6 jewels as well. Heading out, you're deeply appreciated. Deeply, deeply appreciated. Thank you, guys. I hope to see you again very, very soon. Probably tomorrow, not on live, but on a video that I'll send out and record. We have lots of messages. I'll probably follow up with that astral message and share the tea there. So jumped in late, we'll watch the playback. I appreciate you, Lioness. I trust that you'll receive exactly what it is that you need to from this space. Deeply, deeply appreciated. Until next